How's it going, everyone? Shifty here, and I'm back with another Destiny 2 video. I haven't yet made a XUR video for my channel, but ever since he started selling random rolls, I wanted to talk about ones that may be worth getting. This may be especially useful for newer players since trying to determine what exotics are useful or not can be challenging. Before I get into the video, if you find it enjoyable or useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright everyone, this week's XUR is at Giant Scar on Io, so head to the landing zone there and follow the path shown on screen to reach XUR, who is tucked away in a little cave in the back.
Bring a message from the Nine.
Alright, as for the exotic weapon this week, the QUEENBREAKER, this is a heavy linear fusion rifle that doesn't get talked about a lot, but it is actually a competitive DPS option when compared to something like the Whisper of the Worm. I think that if you have the shards available and you don't have this, it's definitely worth a pickup. As for the Lucky Raspberry this week, the stat distribution on it is quite poor, especially with only 12 discipline given it's a grenade centric exotic. I would still recommend grabbing this one if the only roll you have is from the collections or you simply don't have it at all. You can use it to make a build to spam arc bolt grenades on the Arc Strider Hunter if that is something that interests you. Next up is one of the best Titan exotics in the game, so I highly recommend grabbing this one. This pair of DUNEMARCHERS doesn't have the greatest stats of all time, but it does have a decent spread of mid-teen stats across mobility, recovery, discipline, and intellect, which are the 4 most popular stats to spec into. The strength is a bit low here, but that doesn't matter because the exotic perk works for uncharged melees. For those who don't know, sprinting builds up a static charge, then when you melee an enemy, you chain arc damage to nearby enemies, and that nearby in this case is very generous. Up next is the real reason I wanted to cover XUR this week. You don't see it often, but using the Getaway artist with the bottom tree Stormcaller on the Warlock to create an Arc Soul build is actually really fun. There are both PvP and PvE variations. This exotic allows you to consume your grenade and get a buffed Arc Soul. Currently, the standard Arc Soul granted by the Rift also works like the buffed Arc Soul when you have these equipped. I'm not sure if that's a bug or intended at this point. The real important part here is the stats. Recovery is important for any Warlock because it helps you get your Rift back faster and it helps you recover faster in general. But also this role has decent discipline, which is important because any build using this exotic would be heavily grenade focused. Additionally, with Beyond Light we are getting No Time to Explain, which will grant a similar turret to the Arc Soul, and if they stack there may be a legitimate build potential here. That means you should grab this now if you're interested in something like that when Beyond Light drops. Overall, the exotics this week range from decent to great, so they are all worth a pickup, especially if you don't have them or you have the collection roll. Also, if you're newer and you don't have many high damage weapons, then the QUEENBREAKER could work really well for you. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Remember to like and subscribe if you found it useful. I just want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.